Greetings, everybody. It's a delight to be hosting this special US Cardiology review. And I'm here with Editor-in-Chief Dr Amit Goyal and Dr Agnes Koczo, Deputy Editor. Welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here, Dr. Mihailidou. Thank you for hosting us.
Yes, thank you.
I'm delighted. This is all new, and this is an exciting opportunity for us to share with the wider cardio Twitter community and cardiology community. For those not familiar, what is CardioNerds, and what does this partnership mean for US Cardiology review?
Anastasia, thank you again so much for having us, and thank you for that question. For those of you who may know this, CardioNerds really began as a podcast by myself and co-founder Dr. Daniel Ampinder. And very early on, we made the realization that the two of us worked well together and the outcome was good. But as soon as we surrounded ourselves by brilliant people, passionate about cardiology, science, medicine, education, the outcome became great. So the growth of CardioNerds since that time has really been driven by two main ingredients. And that's the mission to democratize cardiovascular education, our North Star, and the people who make that happen. The synchrony between CardioNerds and Radcliffe is very natural. I think we share a lot of the same values. And together we've made the decision to really try to democratize cardiovascular publishing. USC will be, to my knowledge, the first journal of its kind and its caliber to be open access for the readers and open access for the authors to truly democratize the sharing of cardiovascular medicine and science. I think what CardioNerds brings to the journal, again, is the people. I think what we can do is bring a wealth of knowledge, experience, diversity in authors and editors to best serve our readership, diversity in people's backgrounds, their nationalities, their expertise, experience, skill sets, and really elevate the content of the journal. Speaking of the people, I was so thrilled when Dr. Koczo accepted our invitation to become deputy editor for the journal. I met Agnes first when she was representing the University of Pittsburgh on the podcast to present a case. And we knew immediately that this was somebody to latch onto. She is now a postdoctoral research scholar and cardiologist at UPMC and brings a wealth of experience and interest, knowledge for women's cardiovascular health and research. So Agnes, I'm just so thrilled that you're going to be on this journey with us.
Thanks, Amit. The feeling is absolutely mutual. It's my honor really to join the editorial board.
As editor-in-chief and deputy editor, what is your vision for US Cardiology review?
Yeah, thanks for that question. I think primarily we really wanted to utilize all of the strengths really that Amit and Dan had built, this incredible foundation of CardioNerds, and build on really this strong foundational journal that USC is, that has international experts in fields of heart failure and interventional and women in cardiology, and really continue to contribute to that strong foundation. I think from an innovative perspective, we had a lot of ideas about innovative approaches to delivering information, innovative ways for article presentation as well as perhaps news sections, but really all of that drawing upon the strength of this strategic approach to medical education that CardioNerds has really mastered. And along those lines, we also talked about, I think Amit and I's phrase is a home for things that don't have a home, or a home for topics that don't have a home and really deserve one. And I think one of those is medical education. We're all really passionate about that. And it's very central, I think, to the mission of both the journal and to CardioNerds. And having a place where people can go to have dedicated content to medical education and cardiology, I think is pivotal. And so we've selected Dr. Carrie Schaefer, who is an outstanding ACHD doctor, and also teaches, incredibly well, complex ACHD topics on such an understandable level. And so she was a very, easy and natural selection to that role. And we're really looking forward to what she does, as section editor. Another topic we felt really passionate about is the humanities. There's certain sort of slivers of articles in different journals, but again, similarly, a dedicated section to the humanities is something we are really passionate about adding to the journal. And thirdly, I think are these sort of, flourishing subspecialties within cardiology, including cardio-oncology and cardiology critical care, where there's a lot of interest in those fields right now and not necessarily a dedicated home for that. We've already selected Dr. Andrew Higgins, who's a fantastic trained critical care cardiologist, to be the section editor for that piece. So we're really excited both to continue to build on the journal's foundation and to implement some new initiatives.
Thank you. I certainly enjoy the momentum you create on social media. That's for sure. It's a tour de force in immense, and it shows by the engagement you get. So congratulations. Is there synergy between the broader CardioNerds platform and the journal?
Yeah, I think there is tremendous synergy, and together with capitalizing on both the platform's strengths, we can revolutionize not only how we pool talent or expertise in education, but also how we share that with our learning audience. So just a few examples of how we can leverage the strengths of both institutions. One is the CardioNerds Academy, which is a program led by Program Director Dr. Tommy Das, which aims to advance the art and skill of digital medical education. Now, a part of that curriculum is learning how to synthesize information to create impactful infographics. And so you can imagine how we could provide a service for our authors for USC to help synthesize their articles into infographics that can be shared and help elevate the main takeaways from their articles. Another example is, like you said, Anastasia, is actually having a cohesive social media strategy around the journal. Our new training and early career section will be led by section editor, Dr. Daniel Ambender, but that group will also be in charge of leading a social media strategy because, it's important to have high quality and important papers, but they only go so far as the readers who will read them and implement them. And so being able to effectively share them and raise awareness for these areas, like Dr. Koczo talked about, critical care cardiology, cardio-oncology, medical education, humanities, we need to be able to put them in front of people. And lastly, the collaborations. CardioNerds is a maximally collaborative enterprise. We work hand in hand with individual fellowship programs, industry partners, professional society, patient advocacy groups. And so how can we, and we'll figure out a way, but how can we use these collaborations to give these groups a voice and also find expertise that is worth sharing within the journal? So I think there are a lot of ways that we can bring the two together to do the best we can for our readers.
Thank you. It leads quite nicely into the next question, which is, obviously it fits nicely with your global perspective. Currently, CardioNerds is US based, and do you anticipate to go globally?
Yeah, I think Amit and I have talked about this a lot. I think the U.S. journal is kind of U.S. in name alone, as very well demonstrated by you, Anastasia, and a number of different internationally recognized experts in various fields of cardiology. And so not only does the journal absolutely have an international footprint, as of course Radcliffe does, but CardioNerds does as well. So it's definitely primarily a US-based sort of entity, but Amit and Dan have done an incredible job monitoring or capturing, who is listening on an international platform. And they absolutely have an incredible international base of trainees and physicians listening into their podcasts. And so I think it's two sort of really international entities coming together to just even widen the audience further. And I think specifically Amit brings that experience because I think having your audience be international versus national can be, your audience is different. And so you really have to know how to present effectively to an international group. And he's absolutely sort of honed in on that in CardioNerds. And so I think he'll be sort of perfect in this role, especially with our innovative approaches to the journal.
If I may add to that, Agnes, thank you for the kind words. But also, again, just going back to what our takeaways were from the whole experience to begin with is when we surround ourselves with brilliance, it's only going to get better. And so we have great ideas and are very excited and bring some energy. But, US Cardiology brings already a phenomenal group of section editors and editors. The editorial board is really, I think, going to remain the foundation for the journal and will be our sounding board for how do we implement these projects in a way that capitalizes on the strengths of the journal and builds on it into the future.
It certainly caters to the education, which marries quite nicely with CardioNerds' education focus. And I think the nice thing, if I may say, is the camaraderie. I think as trainees, as fellows, to have that at that stage, because it is quite daunting, a field in any specialty. So on that note, thank you very much, and I look forward to working with you. And I'm sure I share that on behalf of all of the section editors and the editorial board. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Anastasia. Thanks for having us.